All right, hello. I wanted to do this video this morning. You know, sometimes I say I'm going to do a video, I have an idea, and then I wait to do it because I'm like, okay, no one might be online. Let's just wait till everybody's home. And so I'm not going to do that today because then sometimes I lose the idea or I don't get time to do it. And so I wanted to jump on and say hello. And we're going to talk about the midlife plateau, like the weight loss thing, and why you could be at that situation and kind of some things that are going on. There could be many things, but I want to touch on a few of them just to give you an idea, because I know sometimes people think, well, I'm not exercising enough, or it's because I still eat chocolate in the afternoon, or is it because whatever, right? So I'm not sure what you're thinking, but I would love to know, if you're watching this video, replay, live, whatever, what are some of the things that you think could be blocking you or stopping you from kind of losing the weight, or you're at a certain point and you just can't lose anymore? I would love to know some of your thoughts, because that really helps me with being able to help you better too. Is kind of like going, oh, okay, well, let me see about this, what's going on here. Anyways. And also, before I get started, I am doing a 14-day a real good clean eating program, and it's starting on Monday, June 10th, I think that is, June 10th. And till 10 o'clock today a.m., it's $55. Then it goes to $67. So it's $67 for a couple days right now, which is an amazing price. And it will go up to $97 closer to the program, okay? That will really, so we're going to talk about how that could really help get you through this plateau with this weight loss, or any weight loss, basically, definitely, for sure, because of the clean eating that it is for 2 weeks. So when I was going through, any stage I was at in my life, I have never really bought bigger clothes. Like, I've always been the type that's like, okay, if I gain a few pounds, if I feel that my clothes are too tight and too big, what I do is I would go on for 2 weeks, I would eat super clean. And then I'd usually lose the weight. So that was like, usually, when your clothes don't fit, it's often about 5 pounds, right? 5 or 6 pounds, and things begin to get a little tight. And that's when I would go, okay, Diana, it's time for you to eat clean. And I always lost the weight again. So then I never really had to go, except for perimenopause, when I gained all that weight quite fast and I didn't know how to change my eating yet. That's when I had to kind of buy bigger clothes. And then I lost a whole bunch of weight and I had to buy actually really tiny clothes. But the thing is that you need to shift something, right? So when you are having this plateau, it's showing you that something needs to shift, which kind of seems logical, right? But often you're not sure what, or you just try one thing, hoping that'll be the thing that'll help you, which is fine. That's totally cool. But also remember that what you were able to do before the age of 40 or before the age of 45, it may not work this time. So a lot of women going, well, I'm working out, I'm doing the treadmill like crazy, I'm running, I'm on the treadmill for an hour or something. That type of exercise will not work. So it's funny how in our 20s and 30s and even early 40s, just going on the treadmill, getting lots of cardio will help to do that, but it's not going to help you now at this phase of life. So your exercise needs to really be right on point also. But the first thing, it's not the first thing you change. And I think that's what a lot of people will go to. And maybe why is because they're like, I don't want to change what I eat. Do I have to eat so clean forever? Do I have to give up all my foods? No. And that's why I'm also doing this 2-week 14-day program, because it's something where you can follow, right? You're part of a group and you're saying, okay, I'm going to do this for 2 weeks, but I need to do it with other people and be accountable and like have kind of like a structure. Otherwise, we don't tend to do it ourselves, right? So it'll give you a little structure to follow. It'll give you accountability. People, in a Facebook group, you don't need to be in Facebook group, but, and you'll have a website with all the information on it. Then it kind of gives you the recipes. It gives you something to follow. That's why it usually works so well. But what else could be going on is you're not quite getting what foods you need to actually increase in your day, which sounds kind of funny. Because often what I find pretty much all women in my programs is they're not eating enough of the good foods that actually help your body, that really get rid of the cravings positively, that help you get rid of the cravings, have more energy, decrease inflammation, right? All of those things help to feed your hormones. Your glands that produce the hormones is what they do. So really the important foods to really feed and fuel your body. That's what I find is missing mostly all the time. And you're focusing on some little things that don't really make much of a difference. Like about having a piece of chocolate in the afternoon, or having a bit of sugar in your tea or coffee, or using honey on something. Those things are quite a small part of it. But what you consume most of the time, as in what you're even not eating enough of, is what actually makes a big, huge difference. Because when you include way, way, way more of the good, healthy, nutritious foods, and finding the foods that work for you, which is really important, right? So this is not all raw, but it does have a lot of raw foods. But I also want you to know, and I work with raw foods recipes, to know that you need to also tune into your body and notice, do I need to enjoy more of my healthy foods cooked, which is totally fine. So these recipes in my 14-day are pretty much vegan. I do use eggs a little bit, but you don't have to. I'd give you a couple morning or brunch stuff, right? There's definitely tons of options that are all vegan. I don't give you meat or fish recipes, but I let you know how to include those things, because I eat fish and I eat eggs, right? So I show you how you include them into your meals, but mainly it's what you need to add more of, which is kind of funny, but it's going to be very clean food that have the high nutrient dense. Hi ladies, who's on? I don't have my computer out, so I can't tell who's on, but say hello. Otherwise you may know. Oh, it's Kate. Hi Kate. I'm sitting outside at the Buzz. It's quite nice out here. But so there's that thing, right? Is what I notice, and sometimes we think, oh, I need to give up. And so many women are so worried because they think most of the focus is going to be on all the wonderful things they have to give up. And that's not always necessarily true. Clean eating, this 14 days, is really about eating the really clean, good, nutrient-dense foods, and a lot of them. Yes, there's going to be no gluten, no dairy, no sugar. And I'm not talking about, if somebody has a bit of honey or something in their tea or I'll go into that, okay? I'm not going to tell you to give up coffee, because here we are focused on, of course, decrease it on good, clean eating foods, okay? And also what I noticed, so what I said, people plateau, could be your hormones or stress. So if you're still at this plateau where you cannot lose weight, you cannot do all this, stress. I cannot let you know how much, oh shoot, now I just did this. There we go. How much stress affects things, and holding in emotions and saying no to yourself and denying yourself joy, denying yourself pleasure, like doing things for yourself, always doing things for others. And now I'm not going to touch on that too much, but I'm going to tell you right now, that is a huge part of it. We hold on to weight, and we do not, your body ends up in this situation where it's almost like a protected, and you can kind of sabotage your efforts when you feel you're already being denied things in your life. So if you are so you get stressed when you think about going on something clean eating, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to give up these things, because they are your coping mechanisms. Are you noticing that foods, chocolate or wine, alcohol, beer, muffins, all of those things, sweets, are you using those to treat yourself? To give yourself that pat on the back, you're doing good, this is something special for you, because you don't get anything like that in your life, in your real life. You don't actually give yourself time to love yourself, appreciate yourself, do what brings you joy. You keep yourself in such a busy, crazy mode, and then the way you feel you can easily and fast reward yourself is with food or alcohol. And lots of times people, to de-stress, I have a glass of wine. So when you really hear yourself say that, that is exactly using it as a coping mechanism. And that is definitely leads towards addiction, because you rely on that substance to make you feel better, right? So just really notice these things. So that's another reason why people don't break through the plateau, is because they cannot give up things that help them cope in life. And so really realizing, I mean, the way to get rid of those cravings too is to take certain things out for a short period of time and eat a lot of the healthy foods, which completely change the chemistry, right? And switch off that craving. You will not switch off the craving until you add way, way, way more nutrition and stop that thing or whatever for at least a week. So that's why this 14-day can help you too. So we've got your hormones are another thing that could be playing around with you. To bring your body back into better balance with hormones, you need good nutrition food, you need less stress, you need to work out that stress part in your life too. And then getting exercise, as in moving your body, moving around, getting out into nature, grounding. So there's a few things like that. And the hormones, yes, if you have undiagnosed thyroid problems, that could stop you from losing weight. So that's what this plateau could be about. Also, another thing is toxins that are held in your fat. You will not release the weight unless you get rid of some of the toxins that are being stored in the excess weight. And this really clean eating program, if you stick with it, that can also help you release these toxins. Your bodies will finally be able to dump because you're not taking in any more. So when your body sees you're not taking any more of the toxins, it says, okay, we don't need the garbage dumps anymore. So we can now release this excess fat because she's not consuming the toxins anymore. So we don't need to store them. So that's another thing that happens. A lot of times people will go on something like this and lose 5 pounds the first week. And that is also because they're getting rid of the toxins that were being held in their tissues, and like water retention and all that. It's like flushing through their system. So that's what can happen too, right? So that's just a few of the things that can really hold you in that plateau, as well as your thoughts, beliefs, and what you say about yourself. Like, it's impossible for me to lose this weight. It's just, these last few pounds are impossible to lose. There's no way I can lose these last 5 pounds. Things like that. I mean, you telling your body exactly what it needs to do, and which means don't lose the weight. So really be conscious of your thoughts, your words, what you say to yourself and others. All right, DianaMarchand.com/recharge-reboot, REBOOT. Check it out. And let me know if you have any questions. And let me know, I'd love to know why you think is the reason you cannot release some weight, or the last bit of weight you have to lose right now. All right, much love to you guys. Bye-bye.